What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, DN Dual Commentary. We've got One Hit Wonder at the bottom, 1394 playing his 6 Sams, and 1621 at the top. BD-Ygo Fresh is? I don't know. Anyways, we had a legendary 6 Samurai Shien that was summoned turn 1, and then BD tried to counter with Ice Hand. Fortunately, One Hit Wonder out of necessity basically MST'd his own wiretap. And that is, I mean, it's a hard counter to what BD was trying to do there. You know, essentially he was trying to, you know, get the Fire Hand and then crash it into Shien, but that's not happening. And that's, I mean, some of these decks I think are going to have to consider playing either Debunk in the main deck or Dimensional Prison, just because I really think that the hands are just too big of a problem for them. You know, you can't essentially go -2 just to get rid of an Ice Hand problem. So anyways, we see that One Hit Wonder is pretty much going all out. BD activates Torrential Tribute, and Shien negates Torrential, and you have to wonder if he's still gonna attack. If maybe he's worried about, I mean, fuck it. Well, he just passed his turn. I guess he figures, all right, I'll take the +1. You know, Shien is protected by these two guys, but you know, Lord forbid a 101 comes down. But we don't even know what BD's playing right now. Maybe he's playing something that can't even make 101. Well, technically, I guess he can, because he's playing the Fire and Ice Hand. So those two combined can let you do 101. So he sets Upstart Goblin. I'd let that go. Yeah, get 1,000 life points. So he lets Upstart go. I'd imagine the card that he's most concerned about here is probably Darkhold, because that would wipe the board completely clean. What are you doing, BD? Or what are you playing? Okay, so we see a Traptrix Myrmilio come down. That's going to get him either a Bottomless or a Traptrix Trapo Nightmare. The problem for him is all of his monsters are kind of already on board, so yeah, that's a thing. I'm not sure how, I mean, I'm not saying don't search Bottomless, and then on top of that, all of these guys, you know, this guy's 21, this guy's 18 and blows shit up. This guy is obviously 25. Anyways, BD, after setting we assume to be Bottomless and summoning the Myrmilio, passes back to One Hit Wonder. I'm definitely rooting for 6 Samurai in this match. Anytime I see an older deck that, you know, people are still playing competitively, of course I'm going to root for that deck. So we see Zanji crashes into Myrmilio. That does 200. We see Kizan attack for 21. And the big guy gets it in for 25. And he's kind of within striking distance now. Maybe One Hit Wonder is going to set a Speller Trap. I mean, this is probably... Nope, he doesn't. He doesn't do anything. I guess maybe he's thinking his opponent might have, like, the Artifact Ignition. And, you know, why give them the opportunity to even activate it? And here's the problem, though. Your opponent now has a face-down card. Can that be something like a Fire Hand? Or maybe it's a bluff Ice Hand. Maybe it's a bluff Traptrix monster, and they just don't want you to, you know, potentially attack it, trying to mindfuck you. It could be a Car D for all we know. One Hit Wonder has some decisions to think about. I'd attack with Zanji. He attacks with Zanji. And what is that? Oh my goodness. And BD scoops it up. Oh shit. 6 Samurais in the house. 6 Samurais get the win on the decisive game 1. Actually, the decisive game is game 3, I guess. Yeah. And the best of 3, yeah. It would have to be the decisive game 3 I'm launching. Alright, so 6 Samurai take down well, we saw hands and we saw Traptrix. We can't confirm that artifacts are in the deck yet, so maybe they're in there, maybe they're not. We just assume we weren't shown anything like Ignition or what else do those fuckers play? They play Sanctum, they play Ignition, they play double Whirlwind. No, double Cyclone, Chain Whirlwind. You know, we didn't see any of those cards, so maybe it's not even artifacts. Maybe it's just Traptrix hands. So I'd imagine that One Hit Wonder is probably going to want to... I mean, he could side in Macrocosmos. That takes out the hands. That takes out the artifacts. Obviously, Debunk, which is now like a $25 card almost, which is absurd. Anyways, let's see what happens. Obviously, BD is going to open up first, and he throws down a Traptrix Myrmilio, getting him presumably a bottomless trap hole. That's a, I mean, that kind of sucks for a one-hit wonder. But you think, I mean, if he can get some back row removal, he can go into Legendary Six Samurai Shien and just negate the bottomless trap hole, and you just have to wonder maybe if he has answers to whatever else that BD's going to do. Alright, so after searching out the bottomless, he plays Upstart Goblin. BD's probably just going to wall up with a bunch of traps and shit like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 5. 4 card set and the Myrmilio summoned. So what is One Hit Wonder going to counter with? What's it called? I'd go for my own fucking ice hands in Six Samurai. Icy Six Samurai. Nope. He says, I'm doing this shit like a man. He says, I'm going to activate my smoke signal and I'm going for it. So smoke signal might get him, okay, get some Kagemusha. And maybe he has Kageki Kagemusha to get the Six Samurai Shien. The problem is Black Horn of Heaven is just, it's a problem for Six Samurai. Because you can't get your Shien out. You're going to have a bad day. Anyways, you see that Dimensional Fissure is activated. BD has no response. We see that Kageki is summoned. And maybe we're going to have a Kagemusha. Unless BD has like a breakthrough skill or something like that. He can't use Effect Veil or Maxi. Kagemusha hits the field. And I would assume he's going to Synchro 5. He does. He Synchros for 5. Summoning Legendary Six Samurai Shien. Ooh, Solemn Warning. That's unfortunate. He goes -1. And Shien hits the deck. So, BD now is pretty much in control of this match. He summons Card-Card-D to get even more cards. After setting another card, Card-Card-D gets tributed to, well, I mean, it gets banished because D-Fissure's on board. And you think that One Hit Wonder, I mean, for the most part, BD just has to sit behind his defense. You know, he already has Bottomless and probably like, you know, potentially a Torrential, Book of Moon, all those other shits. Kizan summon. Bottomless is fired at Kizan. Kizan dies. One Hit Wonder sets another card and looks like he ends his turn. Play goes back to BD. Ice Hand comes down. And he's probably just trying to do as much damage as possible now. He knows that, you know, outside of battle traps, it's like, what can BD really have? And if he has something like double-edged sword technique, which I would imagine he probably sided out, not only going second, but then having D-Fissure on top, that card's just going to be completely dead. He has no monsters in his graveyard. So you see BD just, you know, sitting behind the back row. That's Yu-Gi-Oh! That, you know, basically we've evolved into now. Just everybody sits behind their fucking back row all game. One Hit Wonder summons Kizan, and you just have to wonder what he can do. I mean, if he attacks, maybe he gets deprisoned. I think deprisoned is going to start coming back. He attacks the Myrmilio and falls into Mirror Force. Wow, a card that I really didn't think anybody played anymore. I like Deprison as a card. Mirror Force, not so much. I feel like Mirror Force is just, I mean, that just triggers the hands. This is like too much shit. It's like kind of easy to get around Mirror Force. Like Deprison is kind of a problem. A lot of decks don't like it when you deprison now because, I mean, not just getting shit back from the graveyard, especially in a post Soul Charge world, it's not that hard. Getting shit back from Banish, it's like, man, you got to jump through hoops. Like, who wants to go through all the trouble of making Leviair? Like, anybody got time for that shit? You know what I mean? Like, the only deck that does that on a consistent basis, well, there's two of them. Infernity does it a lot, and then Madoches do it too. All right, so you see BD summons hand. Hand-on-hand combat. Oh, snap. And BD has the MST for the Deprison, so now hand's going to go to the graveyard, and it's going to trigger. It's going to blow up another one. At this point, you kind of wonder why One Hit Wonder isn't scooping it up right now, unless he somehow sees himself coming back. I don't. So Ice Hand goes to the graveyard. He's going to activate his effect. One Hit Wonder says, no prob, boss. He targets one of his face down cards, which is Bottomless. And again, I don't really see how One Hit Wonder is going to come back. I think that at this point you just scoop it up and try, you try better, you try for a better result in game 3. I mean, you're going first. You should be able to put your Xian on board, get those debunks in, the breakthrough skills. And now, why on earth are you going to summon Car when you have this much advantage? Like, really? You should be trying to win the game right here and now. And this dude's drawing extra cards with Car. Like, really? You've got fucking, like, 10 cards to your opponent's 3, and you're still trying to draw? Like, for what? Anyways, One Hit Wonder clearly not giving up. He's going to Synchro. For what? I'm not exactly sure. He goes for Armades, which falls in the Black One of Heaven. Again, maybe One Hit Wonder will scoop now. He will not scoop. I guess he just refuses to. And knowing BD, he'll probably just play another Car D instead of trying to win. Okay, he summons a Traptrix Myrmilio, which presumably is going to get him a Nightmare. BD uses Breakthrough skill, but yeah, just put everything in attack mode and attack. Like, people make Yu-Gi-Oh stupid, I swear to goodness. So anyways, BD ends up taking game 2 rather easily. I mean, he had Solemn Warning for Xian. He had Blackhorn for the what's it called? The Armades, which would have gotten 101 anyway. So I mean, it was pretty much just a routine victory. I mean, the Solemn Warning pretty much sealed it from Jump Street. Anyways, One Hit Wonder is going first, so I mean, hopefully he can get his Xian on board. I mean, if he doesn't get hit with an Ice Hand immediately, he can be in a really good spot because, quite frankly, even if he got Xian on board, right? And let's say your opponent threw out a Pot of Duality or some shit like that, I'm not sure if I wouldn't just go ahead and negate it, because I look at it this way: what are the odds realistically of you having Dark Hole, which a lot of people don't even play anymore? Like I side deck Dark Hole. Technically, right this second, I'm not siding it, but in the past I have sided it. Now, One Hit Wonder opened with a set, which means he doesn't have Xian. Anytime somebody opens with setting cards, that means they have a bad hand. You will never see a Bujin player set monsters before summoning Yamato. They know what they want. So, like, if he had Xian on board, I'd negate the fuck out of his Duality. So we see Ice Hand from the Duality. We see Upstart Goblin and Maxi. Have to wonder if anybody still plays Mind Crush. I love Mind Crush. I think it's a fantastic card. Be able to see your opponent's entire hand. I mean, Mind Crush against this deck, it's like, they play Duality. They play Traptrix Myrmilio. It's really not that difficult to know what's in their hand. You just Mind Crush them, and, from there you just be like, all right, Mind Crush. Okay, so Ice Hand is summoned. No, don't Solemn Warn it. You end up triggering its effect. Oh, Lord. And he doesn't trigger its effect. What? Are you kidding? If it gets Solemn Warning, its effect gets triggered. Are you? Oh, snap. Oh, snap. You could have totally blew up that trap stun. So, anyways, we see Elder come down. I think he's going to activate, I'm not going to look at the card. I know its name. It's not Cunning of the Sixth Samurai. That's the one with fucking Xian. Asceticism. Yes. Is it? Asceticism of the Sixth Samurai. Okay, so he goes Asceticism. And you have to exceed. Don't attack or anything. Because if that's a Black Horn of Heaven, your opponent won't get the draw from Max C. If it's not a Black Horn of Heaven, you just attack. So basically, you put your opponent in a no-win situation. Okay, so it's not a Black Horn, so you end up getting your Xian on board and you just attack. Yeah, your opponent's +1, but I mean, you got to live with that shit. Now, if you set something, I would recommend that it's chainable. Okay, he's not going to set anything. Did did BD get the fire hand that he needs? Okay, fuck that. Just attack it. if it was a fire hand, he would not have set it. He just would have crashed into Xian. Don't believe the hype. Attack that fucking card. I mean, if you have another Sixth Samurai, then obviously you summon it to give yourself a cushion. But I don't believe that anybody with a fire hand in their hand would let a Xian, which has no other monsters on board, would risk that on a set. Like, if you had fire hand, you just would have crashed that motherfucker into Xian. You'd have took the 900 damage, and then you would have got Ice Hand and just attacked again. And then you would have walled up with your 3-card set, because it wouldn't have cost you any cards. In fact, you just would have went +1. So if I'm one hit wonder, just attack this card. Alright, he summons Keyzon. That's a really smart play, because now he gets protection from, I guess, like a potential Fossil Dyna, which I don't really see happening. BD has no response. One hit wonder is going to attack, probably with Keyzon. Ice Hand. Oh, it was Fossil Dyna. Holy shit. Holy motherfucking shit. Dude, what? Hold on. He normal summoned that, didn't he? Didn't he? He totally normal summoned Keyzon. How did Keyzon just die? I don't know what the hell is going on now. Chat, please help me. Oh my goodness. I'm not understanding at all what's going on. Especially if you had Magatama. Why didn't you just wait? You could have used Magatama in the damage step and killed the fucking Fossil Dyna. I have no idea what the hell is going on here, guys. Seriously. I mean, I honestly think that BD is going to win the game now. I just think that One Hit Wonder just threw the game away. Like, I don't think anything that he did made a lot of sense, to be honest. I think he's probably going to take D-Prison. So, BD is now saying, huh, yeah, he takes D-Prison. I'm saying, what happened? I don't know. I don't understand this duel. The rest of the cards go back. I think he's probably just going to get Myrmilio. He's going to get his little... Okay, now he goes Ice Hand. He knows that if his opponent attacks the Ice Hand, he's going to D-Prison him. So Ice Hand can kind of just sit on board and attack, attack, attack. And I don't think One Hit Wonder is coming back from this. Yep, you got to face down D-Prison. Okay, he plays Soul Charge for 2, for 3. And for 4, what does BD respond with? BD has no response. He pays 4,000. Is he going to Needle Seal on him? He activates Compulse on Shien, which I would assume you're going to negate. Oh no, you could actually just, you could change that to, yeah, you could, no. You should change that, you should change that to, what's it called? Oh my god, what? Dude, why didn't you just use, when he evac'd, why didn't you use that to target Kagemusha and then just normal summon it? Oh my goodness. I am flabbergasted. Holy Stromboli. Man. Bad Yu-Gi-Ohs everywhere. I swear to God. Seriously. This wasn't that complicated. Kagemusha, if I'm not mistaken, says if a 6 Samurai is targeted by an effect, you can change it to this target. Which means when he played evac, all you would have had to do was change it to the fucking Kagemusha, put Kagemusha in your hand, and you would have had Shien loaded for whatever needle sealing bullshit your opponent tried to do. Well, not to mention he wouldn't have been able to needle sealing you anyway, because he would have had 3 cards on board. So now you end up losing your entire field plus what, 4,000 life points? Oh man, I'm mad when I see people make mistakes like that. And I don't even play these decks. I'm not being an elitist or anything, but I constantly root for the underdog decks. But what you have to realize in the game is if you're not playing the top 4 decks, you kind of have to play your ass off to keep up with these decks. Like, you cannot make obvious mistakes. You put the Kagemusha in your hand and then you just let the shit ride. Especially when you already know your opponent's playing needle sealing. He activates Soul Charge again for Shien. You have to wonder at this point if he's going to mess this up too. This is the 3rd time he's summoned Shien. And quite frankly, I don't think he's gotten a plus out of it yet. Okay, so he's at 600 life points. I mean, he's in cowboy territory. He hasn't set a spell or trap all game, I don't believe. Now he summons... he summoned Kageki, who has 1700 attack, I believe. Yep, as long as you control another 6 Samurai. BD's turn, and you better hope that you don't have like a Traptrix Myrmilio, BD, because if you do, that shit's not going to do anything. You know, 6 Samurai is a deck that operates on having that one monster on board and constantly plussing. I really think that this duel, I'm not going to say it would have been over, but, you know, he would have been in a lot better shape. So One Hit Wonder activates, or he rams into Kageki. And I guess he's probably just going to target Kageki. That's what he does. He targets Kageki to presumably get an Ice Hand in defense, maybe? And that's exactly what BD's going to do. He's just going to get an Ice Hand in defense. Now, if he attacks the Ice Hand, we would presume that BD's going to use Dimensional Prison, which, I mean, One Hit Wonder will negate. Alright, so what's coming down? He activates Six Samurai United, and he gets his special summon off. I think he's probably just going to go 1-for-1 with it. And that's exactly what he does. He goes 1-for-1, gets his draw. Now, this time I agree with the special summon, but earlier in the duel, when he attacked over Fossil Dyna, it did not appear to me that he special summoned the Keyzon. It looked like he did the normal summon action, and I don't think he announced that he special summoned it either, so I'm kind of wondering why it died in the first place. Now, it looks like One Hit Wonder is looking at his extra deck. Okay, so he special summons another Keyzon. Now if you attack, and he doesn't use the D-Prison at all. So, okay, if your opponent doesn't use D-Prison, you kind of know that they're waiting on something bigger. Alright, so he takes all the attacks. And even if they don't have something bigger, holy shit, is he going to go for Cowboy and win? I just realized that he goes for Cowboy. Holy fuck! How did he win that duel? Oh my... What? This is like the Pacers being in the conference finals. I don't think either one of them deserved to win. Holy crap, guys. Thank you for watching as always. You tell me if you could wrap your head around what the fuck we just watched, because I still don't understand half the shit that just happened in Game 3.